In the name of God, I'm Zahra Aryaee, the researcher of the current study. I did this process with the help of Dr. Mahshad Tasnimi. The subject under study is investigating barriers in virtual learning in Iranian EFL learners. Okay, we know that technology improved, greater internet access was provided. Therefore, these facilities made online education usable as an alternative to face-to-face education. Okay, here you can see advantages of online learning. There are some common advantages in online learning, but because of the time, I can't mention them. But I just want to show you that there are some advantages in online learning. Okay, despite the advantages of online learning, implementing this project at universities has accompanied by many barriers which can decrease learners' motivation. Therefore, this survey aimed to explore the students' barrier factors of online learning at Islamic Azad University. Furthermore, the researcher wanted to know which barriers were chosen as the most frequent barriers by students and which factors depended on their opinion. About the research question, as I mentioned, we wanted to explore the barriers in virtual learning and to find the most frequent ones and to notice that are there any significant differences in the rating of barriers between students who enjoy virtual learning and those who don't? Okay, about the methodology, instrumentation. By reviewing the literature, the researcher found a questionnaire related to her study that was constructed by Muhlenberg and Berg in 2005. For answering the second and third research question, the researcher added 3 questions to that questionnaire. In those 3 questions, participants were asked to answer about their gender, the effectiveness of online learning, and the enjoyment of learning online. And the reliability of the questionnaire was computed by using Cronbach's alpha formula. It was equal to 0.93 that indicated the high reliability of the questionnaire. About our participants, the sample was consisted of 126 college students majoring in EFL at Islamic Azad University, North Tehran branch. They were chosen via convenience sampling, and they were both male and female students, but the majority were female students. Okay, result of the first research question. 8 factors were recognized as barrier factors by using exploratory factor analysis. These factors were administrative issues, social interaction, academic skills, technical skills, learner motivation, technical problems, time and support for studies, and cost and access to the internet. Okay, you can see the barrier factors here, and by running a structural equation modeling, the results showed that all these factors had a statistically significant effect on causing demotivation. And you can see here the strengths of them in causing demotivation. About the gender, the result of the study showed that gender affected a student's perception of barrier factors. About the effectiveness of online learning, the researcher found out that there was a relationship between the effectiveness of online learning and the rating of barriers. And here you can see that students who said they couldn't learn much in online learning had the highest barrier ratings in comparison to the other students. And for answering the second and third research questions, participants were divided to 2 groups. Group 1 consists of students who enjoyed virtual learning, and Group 2 consisted of those who didn't enjoy online learning. Result of the second research question. Among barriers, some were recognized as the most frequent barriers. Okay, you can see them here. These barriers were perceived fairly similar by students. Okay, but among the frequent factors, those that were related to the university and instructors were identified as the shortcomings of the university. You can see them in paragraph 2. And about the result of the third research question. The researcher found out that except the barriers that I mentioned in paragraph 1, group 1 rated the other barriers lesser. Therefore, e-learning enjoyment was extracted as a new variable that could strengthen the motivation. Okay, different barriers you can see here, and here there are the results show that these independent factors affected a student's rating of the barrier factor. Discussion and conclusion. Data analysis revealed 8 factors as barrier factors in e-learning that I mentioned them before. The findings of the current study were consistent with the literature according to the interaction and communication. In the literature, they were identified as one of the most important barriers in online learning. In contrast, the findings of the current study were inconsistent with a previous research that was done by Birch. Birch's findings revealed that technical and academic skills as very low barrier. And moreover, the findings show that there was a relationship between the effectiveness of online learning and each of the 8 factors. This finding was consistent with Bird's finding. In addition, the results showed that there were statistically significant differences in the rating of barriers between Group 1 and Group 2. This finding was consistent with Abramenko's finding. Thank you for your attention.